dear Management and Business Practices Conference participants, ladies and gentlemen, professors, lecturers, and students, I would like to welcome you to my keynote session. My name is Roland Csizmazia. I'm originally from Hungary, but I work in South Korea, Seoul, at Kwangwoon University. Today my topic is related to the energy industry and its development with the geographical limitation of the V4 countries within the European Union. The V4 countries, so Czechia, Poland, Hungary, and Slovakia. And before starting my presentation, please allow me to express my gratitude to the Eurasia Research team and the organizers of this online conference for the great organization. At the same time, I really appreciate all the works of the contributors, researchers, and students. Now, please allow me to start with my presentation. You see my email address here below as well. The topics, very quickly, you see here. So we know that there is a historic dependency from Russian sources, energy sources, in the V4 countries due to the proximity and due to the low price, sometimes lower than market price offered by Russian providers. So the question is if there is a chance for decreasing, or actually what is happening, increasing the dependency of Russian sources, or what is the final or eventual solution here. The nuclear energy or renewable energy sources could also help. We see that here that the four main products of energy supply, so coal, lignite, natural gas, and oil, remain the most important. So aggregated here, you see the numbers over the last 10 years. And we need to add here also nuclear heat, whereas there is an exclusion, that is Poland in our case. And we see here that although we try to diversify away, we get back to through the trap of backdoor imports. India refiners boost exports of diesel and jet fuel to Europe. And we see here as well imports of refined oil products from Russia, from China and India have grown. So from China 70% and from India 13% respectively over the past year. And oil tankers actually try to use Chinese yuan to hide the carriage of crude oil from Russia. Well, there are potential countries for backdoor trade: India, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, South Korea, and China, reported by Northline. So the average daily flows reached the highest level since August 2022. Cumulative flows through the two available gas pipeline routes from Russia to Europe without the Turkish line in the first half of August increased by 6% compared to the first half of July 2022. At the same time, Hungary seeks to diversify the supplies that come to the country in transit through Ukraine using the Turkish stream. So Hungary tries to use the Turkish stream. We also see that the support of sanctions against Russia did not lead to the changed in amount of Russian crude oil imported by the European Union at all. So we have to add that. We also see that some of the countries remained exempted from the embargoes on crude oil and on natural gas. And we see here that the recent changes as well, that the crude oil imports from Russia to V4 countries changed a little bit. So Slovakia to Poland, they do not receive any more imports actually, and Czechia and Hungary remain stable. Also, in the case of natural gas from Russia to V4 countries, we see some changes. So Slovakia could replace part, but not all the part. Yet it has to be said that Slovakia and Ukraine signed an agreement to secure gas from Russia and also to Ukraine in that way. And New York Times reported in July that the Czech Republic managed to eliminate the importing of natural gas from Russia, while we also have to say that in the case of Poland, the country remained the largest importer of Russia's liquefied petroleum gas. The EU Commission declared some way that the nuclear energy is supposed to be green and sustainable. And we see that there is no sanction against Russian nuclear industry. We also can see here immediately that Hungary blocked the addition of nuclear energy into the sanction packages. We also see one more thing, that Russia's importance is very huge in this way. So almost 25% of the raw uranium imported by the EU comes from Russia, still 23% from Kazakhstan, where actually Russia is the largest player. And we have a total 18 Russian-designed nuclear reactors in the EU with the ties to French utility company EDF. Now, if we look at the renewable energy sources and the shares, we see in both ways, so share of energy from renewable sources and in gross electricity consumption as well, that the V4 countries lag largely behind. That brings the assumption that the administrations of the V4 countries seem not to favor the development of renewable energy sources against the conventional ones. This step is, however, inevitable to help the diversification process away as much as possible from Russian energy sources. The renewable energy sources could become or could have a major role here. Shares of renewables and biofuels in 2021 in the units of gigawatt per hour. As of gross electricity production, we see here 19%, 20%, 15 or 16%, and Slovakia 27%. When we consider Germany with 48.3% or 7% in 2023, I think 2022, sorry. So then we realize that, of course, these numbers lag largely behind. We also see that major part of this actually comes from nuclear power, whereas we see that in Germany there is no nuclear power source any longer. Now, the current research focuses mainly on the changing import volumes of fossil fuels from Russia in an isolated analysis. Accordingly, the analysis lacks of knowledge on how the dependency of Russia has been changing in respect to the nuclear fuel rods. For instance, Poland has launched plans for building at least one large and about 7 smaller modular nuclear reactors. Further, it would be necessary to relate the major energy sources to the increasing importance of renewable sources in the future. Even though one can observe that the V4 countries lag largely behind the Western European Union countries, both in terms of policymaking and in realization of projects. Another issue is the problem of backdoor that has been increasing through a few countries. Let's just see China. Russian energy deliveries to China are set to grow by 40% only in 2023. That also suggests that the Chinese industry would need that much more energy. That is, of course, impossible. And accordingly, we can assume that part of it would be transported from China to the European Union. So I would like to say thank you very much for your attention and hope that the presentation contributed to your knowledge. And if you have any thing to notice, please send me an email. I'm very happy and pleased if you have some interesting points to my keynote speech. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.